All right, today we're going to do a first reaction video to a relatively new AI powered creative tool. I'm going to do the image generator today for Dreamina. I think that's how you pronounce it, but it's another one based off the word dream, just like Rev that we love so much. Now, Dreamina, it came out in December of 24 and has already had multiple updates and is really starting to make waves in the world of AI image creation and also video creation. So I want to do a quick first reaction comparison video today to the power of Dreamina. Talk about some of its features and compare it to a couple of our favorites. I'm going to compare it to Rev and Leonardo and see how it does. A couple things before we hop into it I want to talk about. First of all, it's free. I didn't have to pay anything for this. You actually get 120 credits a day, and each image that you generate here is only 2 credits, so that means a total of 60 images in a day. I don't know about you guys, but I'm certainly not creating that many in a day, so I'm going to consider this free. Everything that I show you today is free. And, you know, if you want to get a good feel for any of these image creators or anything, when you go to their main homepage, they're often going to show you some of the highlights from their community that other people have created. So to kind of get a spice and a flavor of how it's looking, here's some variety of its homepage. As you can see, some super really good photorealistic going on. That one's like an older illustrated type picture. Some of these are cartoon based, but some of them, like this one right here, the photorealism is insane. And actually, this is a video one, so that's really good. So what I wanted to do today is give it 4 different prompts and really see how it does. Things I want to look for are the photorealism of any of these. Now, a lot of these prompts, they didn't request a certain photo type, so we're going to see kind of what its default is. So that's what's fun about this. We want to look at the detail in the background. We want to weigh the cost of these, and again, this one's free, and then also its prompt adherence, because we know that, say, Rev is kind of king of the hill here for prompt adherence. So let's dive on in and see how it did today. So first of all, I'm going to go here to the image generations that I have done. So we'll start with this first one. It's a bustling cyberpunk city at night with neon lights reflecting off wet streets, cars zipping in the air, towers and skyscrapers with holographic advertisements. And so Dreamina, pretty darn good here. We got the flying cars, we've got holographs, we've got wet streets. Still looks a touch illustrated, but not too bad. I would say it's photorealism's maybe like 80% here. And another thing that Dreamina's doing, every one of these is creating the 4 images, which I love. So Rev and Leonardo both do that as well. So the next one here, more of the same, looking good. You know, it's funny, on all these futuristic cars, I love how they're kind of based on a DeLorean, which I think is funny, with just the fact that, hey, if a car is going to fly into the future, it's probably going to be a DeLorean. This one, all right, a little more curves there. It looks really good. Flying cars, holographic city, wet streets. I mean, these are doing great. So the resolution's a full 1K, so that's good. You do have the option of going a little higher resolution, but you got to pay for those. I think you only get about 3 of those free per day. But still, the resolution on these are great. All right, so if we're going to pop over to Rev and see how it did in the same situation, a little better photorealism. A lot of these background details, they're either all in another language or they're not 100% accurate or good, but still, I still think I'd put Rev's photorealism a little bit above Dreamina so far, but still looking pretty good here for a cyberpunk futuristic city. And then let's head on over to Leonardo and see how that did. And yes, these are very DeLorean-based vehicles, so I think all of these AIs, they're in cahoots that if you're going to show something in the future, it's probably going to be that car. But yeah, this one looks good. And again, you've got a lot of like kind of Asian writing, so I can't really tell you if it's accurate or not because I don't speak any of those languages or cannot read them. But like this image over here for Leonardo, that kind of looks a little facially distorted, a little funny. But kind of animated here, pretty good, not too bad. But again, DeLoreans everywhere. That's more like a LeBaron or something. But 80s cars put into the future, that's pretty fun. So all together, but Dreamina, I really think did a great job. I mean, if you look back here at how it did, but it's still a touch illustrated. I would put Rev above it just by a hair, but not too much. Looking good. All right, moving on. I wanted to do a mythical creature resembling a blend between a deer and a dragon with luminescent antlers standing amidst an enchanted forest with glowing flora. Oh my gosh, that is really cool. So that is a perfect blend of a deer and a dragon. So it's kind of a deer shape, but you got all the dragon type things. The antlers are glowing. You've got glowing flora. I mean, that looks great. Really, really good job there, Dreamina. Let's see. Moving on. This one again, you've got the wings. You've got the half deer, half dragon kind of look. Perfect, really. This one looks a little more animated, a little more in the green kind of world and stuff, but still looking really good with the antler, and its prompt adherence is great. And the last one that it generated, it doesn't want to show me. There we go. And that one's the most illustrated looking one of the group, but still not too bad. All right, Rev, let's see if you gave us some super photorealistic things here on that prompt. Let's see. Oh, wow. Oh, you know what? I kind of prefer the Dreamina ones over this. It's not often that Rev's not winning these, but that was, these ones are way, way better looking than that. All right, so that looks a little unsettling. All right, let's see some of the other ones here. Yeah, you see some scales there. It kind of looks like a dragon. But again, I thought Dreamina did a better job actually making it look like a half deer, half dragon. This looks a little more like deer, but with just some dragon type things going on. And this just has fungi. It doesn't have like the flora growing like this one. So, Rev, if you're typically an all-star for me for prompt adherence, I think Dreamina's got you edged out on this one. It's pretty good. All right, so let's see how Leonardo did. That's weird looking. It's antlers have stuff growing on them. It's like got flowers. It's not quite a dragon feel. It's very deer-like, but not dragon. So again, this one here, it kind of interpreted it funny and has like plants growing off the back of the deer. So a little weird there. So not quite a dragon hybrid here. It's just deer. So, Leonardo, its photorealism's good. It's really good at getting dramatic lighting, but its prompt adherence is continually not that good. So, all right, moving on. We wanted to do a interior classic of a 1950 American's diner, complete with red leather boots, a jukebox playing rock and roll, and patrons enjoying milkshakes. So, Dreamina, how did we do? Except for the fact that nobody's really looking at each other. That's kind of weird. And again, remember I said the background details are what's important here. And like this kind of weirdly broken guitar and things that just say rock, kind of. Like it says the word rock there, but then some other weird word there. This guitar looks super weird on the side and distorted. The jukebox looks pretty legit. The American flag all looks good. But yeah, so pretty good there, Dreamina. All right, this one, maybe the conversations look a little more natural. Her face looks pretty good. They're still not looking at each other. That sign there doesn't really say too much. I don't know why everything's based off the word rock and then it kind of messes up from there. So that's a little bit odd. American flag, not quite right with the quantity of stripes and stars. Still, and it looks a touch illustrated. I wouldn't say that one's too good. This one's a little bit better. They're still not looking at each other. Her face is a bit distorted and odd. And the word rock comes again and again. So that's a little odd. The TV, I don't really know what's going on there, if there's a TV show or what. Jukebox looks good, but still, It's probably the best of the group. They're almost looking at each other. So it's weird. There's the word rock again. And then every other word's kind of not right. But you do have the jukebox, so pretty good. Let's see how Rev did with this one. So popping over to Rev with its... So Rev, extremely photorealistic, but they assumed that it was all just kids alone in this 50s diner. So that's kind of weird, but you've got the red seats. They all look good. The tables look legit. The jukebox looks kind of legit, but if you look at the grill down here at the bottom, that's a little bit distorted and weird. This one looks like they're actually having a conversation with each other. Here we go. Jukebox looks good. Everything else, that one looks super good. Let's see here what else they've done. So it's kids have run the world here. So Rev apparently has no issue putting children in its images, so that's fine. Jukebox is good. For the most part, we're adhering. Let's see what its last one is here. And again, kids taking over the world, maybe some teenagers here. So a little weird that Rev kind of just goes straight to kids in its image. So some people might be uncomfortable with that. And then lastly, Leonardo. So no patrons at all in here. So that's definitely what part of the prompt that it missed. However, the red tables and the boots and the red boots, the tables, everything looks pretty legit here for an older diner. So let's see. Oh, we actually have somebody kind of working. Maybe that's somebody, but their face is all distorted. So they figured, hey, they're far enough in the background. We don't have to get the details right. We got the kind of green, teal green walls with the red boots. So this definitely has the feel, but look at these signs. None of these are saying actual words. We don't even have the word rock like we did over and over again in Dreamina. So that one, and it looks like it's kind of closed back there. So a little weird. So no patrons, no real jukebox. So again, Leonardo, you're good with dramatic, you're good with, shadows and stuff like that, but your prompt adherence is just not there. All right, last prompt. Let's see how Dreamina did and how it stacked up against the competition here. So last prompt, we have a floating island in the sky with an upside-down waterfall, giant clock melting over the edges, and a sky filled with swirling galaxies. And all right, this one looks very illustrated. So, but in a little kind of weirdness going on in this bottom of the floating island, waterfall going down, kind of a melting clock, definitely some swirling galaxies. Pretty good, Dreamina. I like it. I think you did a good job here. Let's see if the other ones here, I think they're kind of more of the same. Yeah, they're pretty similar. That one's cool. It's trying to show something melting off the edge. So I can't argue with any of that. Swirling galaxies, but still kind of an illustrated feel. I wouldn't say that's too photorealistic, really. Rev, how did you do with this one? Let's see. Ooh, a surprising miss there. That one looks extremely illustrated, not photorealistic, not at all what I was expecting from Rev. Let's see as we move on. A little bit better there. Swirling galaxies are good. Prompt adherence is good. You got multiple clocks. That one's pretty good. The melting clock, they finally got that part right. Swirling galaxies look good. It's a floating island, so pretty good. Still looks kind of illustrated, not too bad. And then lastly, let's see how Leonardo did with this one. All right, again, the photorealism's great, the drama, the different images, but there's no clocks. There's there's kind of some galaxies in the background. They look a little more realistic than that traditional swirling galaxy, so maybe it hit it there, maybe it didn't, but, the clock here, the numbers all look a bit distorted. That one's not exactly floating. It's kind of in the water, so a little weird there. I don't know what happened here. That's weird. It's like two different skylines and stuff, so it's kind of not really to the prompt at all. But again, it looks pretty good. There we go. Finally, we got a weird clock. It's not really melting or anything like that. We don't quite have swirling galaxies. And we've got a Earth-like planet in the background. So a little bit of funny stuff going on here. I would say altogether in this quick comparison, Dreamina is really giving Rev a run for its money, and Leonardo's in third place. Now, what's crazy about this is Rev and Dreamina are both free, while I'm paying for Leonardo. So I'm constantly being reminded as to maybe why I should end my subscription with Leonardo, because there's other ones that are creating images that much better. So if anybody's using Dreamina, please let me know in the comments of what your favorite types of images are to create with it. But otherwise, I'd say it's given a Rev a good back and forth battle for the top image creator. And remember, this is made by CapCut, the same people who did ByteDance. So yes, those are the creators of TikTok. So they're doing some things right in the social media world, and they're definitely getting something right here. So please, if you haven't yet liked or subscribed on the video, that helps Rosh and I get the word out to more people. And again, if you want to learn more about the world of AI, every Monday, Rosh and I do the Creative AI Show, where we hang out and talk for 20-30 minutes about all the latest news and updates in AI and how we've been able to work on our own personal projects and help our clients using AI. So thank you so much for watching. Until then, we're two creative guys talking AI.